Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine, and this is your preview show. I'm your host Khalid Mohideen, and this is the show where we talk about all things South Africa versus England, and we're going to be previewing the ODI series, particularly the first match is going to be at Six Gun Grill Newlands on Friday at 1 South African Standard Time. So I want you guys to get involved in the comments because we're obviously going to show the different teams that we've gone with. There's going to be some sort of controversial things and some picks that some people are going to say maybe they don't agree with, and maybe there's going to be some picks that you guys love. So I'd like to hear what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below. Before we get going, obviously, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, click that notification bell for all future videos, and let's get into it straight away. And I know you guys are going to be taking your time and come watch us, even though the president is live. We're gonna have him, Paul, maybe giving us some running commentary about a few things. If he sees something, any breaking news things, he will update you guys on what's happening. But let's bring everybody onto the show. First and foremost, let's bring Aaron onto the show, Lubabalo onto the show, and Mpo onto the show. And what's going to happen is there are going to be some other guys that might come on throughout the show. So don't be disrupted by the distractions and everything. We will just go to their teams at that particular point when they do come on. So how's everybody doing? Welcome to the show.
Doing well, mate. Doing well, Harley. Very, very well. Especially after that T20 series. Yeah, feeling even better.
Oh Lord. Okay, so let's before we go into the people's teams, let's just put up the squads again, because obviously there was major changes that were made. Quentin de Kock, Temba Bavuma, Junior Dala, Björn Hendricks. The guys that were left out were obviously Faf to Perceive, Bjorn Fontaine, Piet van Biljon, KG Rabada's injured. Obviously Dwayne Proteas was injured early on, and I'm missing one more. I'm missing one more, guys, and I can't remember who it is.
Bjorn Fontaine, Kagiso, Riza was sent home.
Riza Hendricks, that was the guy that I'm missing out. So it's now an 18-man squad, obviously from the 23, because obviously when Dwayne Proteas was reduced. We knew England's squad all along, so I think South Africa could have prepared for majority of the guys anyway. So you guys can start making your teams with those guys. Yeah, we've got Reginald back in the comments again saying fresh team tomorrow, can't wait for the game. And that's awesome because we can't too. I think it's going to be very exciting because it's not necessarily full strength against full strength here. I think it's kind of fringe against fringe in a way. We'll have a couple of guys that are full strength, and you guys will have a couple of guys that are full strength too. So it's going to be quite an interesting one. It's going to be, actually, what we're going to be able to see is the depth in our sides. The depth in England is going to obviously come out and stand out most likely, and that's going to be the crazy thing that we're going to probably be very scared of. But Aaron, let's go with you first. Let's talk about your team, and let's talk about why you went with the guys that you have went with. So let's bring that up right now.
Okay, no worries. So with regards to the top four, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. World Cup winners, Roy and Best. I know Roy is out of rhythm. This is a fantastic way to get him back in some form. I feel like he had a quiet T20I series, so bring him into the ODIs, hopefully get that rhythm back. He's playing a longer format, more time to get himself back into that rhythm, which has made him such a destructive batsman. Heading into my number 5 and 6, these two can change depending on the situation. So let's say England are 3 wickets down pretty early. Sam Billings comes in almost as an anchor, plays the role that he did in the Australia ODI series. And then Joss, again, if we're 3 down in the 40th over, Joss comes in almost as the finisher. Chris Wokes, very, very self-explanatory. I'm in my Warwickshire shirt tonight. There's no way I would never not have Chris Wokes in an England 11. Tom Curran's an interesting one. Again, someone who I think needs to just get back into a bit of form. Again, he's very much a confidence player. He did all right in the last 2 T20s, but I feel like if he can come into the ODIs, get some wickets, he'll be on the right path. Number 9, watch out for, and I mean that's quite ominously for the South African viewers out there, Ollie Stone is an absolute gun. He bowls heat. So I do not envy the South African batting lineup at all. This guy, I think, is going to have a big series. Hopefully he doesn't get injured, of course. But I'm very, very much looking forward to seeing Ollie in action in an England shirt. And then with regards to the last two, Adil Rashid, to the middle overs, Spin Wizard and Mark Wood, again, express pace to cause carnage in the South African batting lineup. So I'd say it's quite a strong team. It's obviously not a full strength England team. The big omissions there at Ben Stokes and obviously Jofra Archer, but still a quite strong team. And hopefully, fingers crossed, they can get the result.
I actually wanted to ask you about Ollie Stone because I haven't really seen much of him. What is it about him? Is he express pace? Is that all it's about, or does he have something extra in his arsenal as well?
I can't. I mean, I'm in my Warwickshire shirt, so take that in mind. But at the end of the day, Ollie Stone, I've been watching this guy for years. He really impresses me year in, year out. Not only with his pace, he does also have variation, and his death bowling has been absolutely gun for Warwickshire. I know this is very much T20 bowling that I'm on about here, but the death this year, he was sensational. Took 14 wickets for the Bears in, I believe it was about 10 matches, because he had a bit of an injury concern at the start of the season. But my word, this guy's special. And obviously for Warwickshire fans, it's a massive moment seeing him and Chris Wokes potentially bowling in tandem with a new ball. That'd be absolutely massive. So that's all I'm going to say. He's not just pace. Pace is obviously a massive asset of his game, but he does have more to it. He's a multi-dimensional player. And as I said, a bowler that the Proteas definitely have to watch out for.
Mm-hmm. We've got Mudit in the comments saying Quinny plays Mark Wood really well. ... So let's hope that he can tomorrow. Let's bring on the other guys. Let's go to Paarl's team first because you're on the bottom left of the screen. So let's go with you first. Paarl has an interesting side.
I'm a lot more confident about picking an ODI side than the T20 side. So I think Yanaman, I'm looking towards 2023 and looking towards a side that will play in 2023. Everyone in the side is either just turned 30 or slightly under it. So that's what I was looking for. David Miller's is about 31. And I'm thinking possibly he could move out for Kyle Verreynne. He was the only one that I wasn't sure of in terms of my selection. I just went with David Miller for this one because he hasn't played in the T20s, and I thought he needed a game in the T20s. I might switch out Heinrich Klaassen in the second game and the third game for Kyle Verreynne. I'm not looking for a wicketkeeper. I just think Kyle Verreynne needs an opportunity in the side, and Heinrich's played in two of the T20s. I like Yanaman at the top. I like Timber at 3. Rassie at 4 is always good. From a bowling perspective, Andile comes in. Andile is our best white ball bowler in the country, so he has to come in. I'm giving Keshav a run and not George Linder. I think George Linder's had his T20 opportunities and he showed us what he can do. I think Keshav has been asking for an ODI opportunity, and I think this might be the start of his opportunity with the experience that he's gotten in red ball cricket. Yes, bearing in mind that the World Cup is in India in 2023, so George Linder will have to come into the plans, but they're all the same. Tabraiz Shamsi as well. It was hard for me to drop him, but I kind of felt you needed to go with 4 paces in this one that will take your 10 overs each in Keshav, and then Anrich Nokia, Lungin Gidi, and then I wanted to see what Glenton Steenman can offer. We saw a glimpse of what he can do last year in the One Day Cup. He did bowl a little bit, and he impressed me in 3TC. He's always been a great bowler. He's there and thereabouts in the Proteas setup. So let's give him an opportunity and see what he can do.
Mm-hmm. I want to tell you guys because I didn't tell you at the beginning. I didn't tell all the viewers as well. Apparently, you can hear that, eh? Anyway, they're looking for someone. With regards to this, I didn't tell you guys that we got the message that they're going to be playing on different strips for the ODI series, apparently. So I don't know how true that is going to be and how different they are going to be with regards to pace, bounce, if it's going to be that type of strips or is it going to still be that slow pitches that we saw in the T20. That made me, when they said different strip, and they told us that they're getting different strips. What that made me feel is like, wait, did they ask for these slow wickets to test themselves? That was my first thought in my head. Or am I thinking too far ahead or too strategically over here?
No, but
with regards to that.
But I don't think they would need slow wickets for the ODI series. Just play what you can. It's for that World Super whatever it is that nobody actually cares about. For points, it's a league system. So guys, why not play to your strengths? In South Africa's strengths is quick wickets, bounce, and pace. But yeah, I want our limited oversight to have a second spinner, but I know that it's not going to be in Mark Boucher's realm unless if you're looking towards playing in India.
Mm-hmm. So Lucy, if Lucy's ready, we can add it to the stream. She's cool. Welcome to the show, Lucy. Yeah, we're good. We're good. I'm gonna go to Lubabalo now. Sorry, guys. Shay is also waiting in the background, I think. Yes, he is. So we're gonna bring him to the stream as well. Full house, guys. We at the point now, guys, where we're gonna talk about the Proteas sides and obviously Lubabalo, then we'll go to Shay and obviously Lucy as well with their England sides. Lubabalo, just fill us in your thought processes behind your side.
Well, with my side, I wanted to look towards 2023, but I believe the squad doesn't necessarily allow me to look towards that. So I sort of went for trying to reward guys that have performed. At the same time, I went for a sort of quick fix just to try and win the match. I was reluctant to go with 5 bowlers though, because I saw how we struggled with 5 bowlers in the T20 series. So I thought, why not back George Linder? He looks like a guy in form. He looks like a guy high in confidence. So I slotted him at 6. For me, it was a toss up between Timber and Yaneman. For me, I believe Rassi at 3. In ODIs, that's where he should bat. Haney's been scoring runs as well. So it got to a point where I had to decide between Temba and Yaneman. I obviously went for Temba, the guy with the more international experience, with the number of caps as well. And I also went for he opened before Yaneman basically, and he didn't do badly for him to get dropped. And Kyle is also another guy. He's the guy for the pressure moments. We've seen it when I've followed the Cape Cobras. So I think is the guy I'm keen to have at 5. And I also gave Shamsi one more chance. I'm hoping we're going to see a bit more consistency as far as it's Shamsi. And I decided to go for a guy I think England won't know much about in the bowling attack, which is Glenton. I rate Cheeto very highly, so I try to maintain the balance. Having Andy Lepetlo back, those middle overs are going to be key as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what I want to actually ask you about, because I think that you would have seen a lot more of him. I've picked him as well in my side, but that's Glenton Stearman. Can you give us some insight into Glenton and what you think of him, Lubabalo?
From what I've seen in club cricket, he's a guy who he can bowl that consistent line and length. He's a smart bowler, to be honest. He's a very clever bowler. He has the ability to read batsmen as well. So he doesn't just come in and just bowl. No. He can bowl. He has a bit of skill with the ball as well. I think he will go well with Andile in the middle overs. So I'm thinking if Queenie wants to use him more, probably if you're going to use him early, give him a few overs early, and then he will be the guy that you will use in the middle overs with Andile and maybe the spinners. Because I rate him as a very clever bowler. He knows how to read batsmen, and he always has. He goes about his cricket a simple way, but at the same time, he's very smart as a bowler.
Yeah. So this is the time for me to plug. I interviewed Glenton when he got selected in the squad. So go check that exclusive interview on our exclusive interview playlist. He gave some amazing insights into himself, into his history. It was a really sad story that he also told us about something. So like, I hope you guys can go check out the story on the website as well. Not only the story on our on the YouTube channel. It's in our featured category on our website. Let's get into Lucy. Lucy, welcome to the show again. Let's bring up your side. Let's talk about that again.
Yes, so I've kept Roy opening up. I've put him in with Bairstow. And then I've got Butler coming in at 3. I've also put Joe Root in the side. Because as well as a batsman that you can rely on him, he can always bowl a couple of overs if needed. Then obviously skipper Owen Morgan coming in at 5. I put Tom Curran in at 6. Bit of an all-rounder. Bowl, can bat a bit, so comfortable with him there. And then I've got more onto the bowling attack then. I've got Chris Wokes I've got Lewis Gregory from Somerset, I think, yeah. And then Ollie Stone, and then Abdul Rashid and Mark Wood.
So the major one that I'm going to ask you about, because Aaron was ranting and raving about this Ollie Stone guy, Ollie Pebble. So like what what I want to talk about, what I want to talk about is Lewis Gregory. What about him? What makes him special?
I think Lewis Pebble. Oh my gosh. I think I just like to see more of him really bowling. I've seen him play for Somerset, the county team. So I just think, yeah, why not give him a chance in the ODIs? We've got off to a strong start in the T20s, so bringing that forward into the ODIs, I think we can give him a chance and see what he can do.
And if you can, I don't like to compare players. Like I don't like to compare like for like or whatever. But what type of player would you say he is?
I'm trying to think.
Anybody can go from England. Any of the guys that
let's
can
get
maybe
Aaron on, I
describe.
think.
I think I'd most likely compare him to Chris Wokes purely because of the speed. Again, relies a bit on swing bowling and can bat quite handily. Obviously, he's not to Woker's level. I'm in my Warwickshire shirt. I've got to say that. Get the disclaimer out there. But yeah, he's like Chris Wokes in some regard.
Very interesting, Lucy. I love your lineup. I also like to see new players. So well done on picking him in your side. Let's go to Shay. Shay has slick back hair in his coat again, so he's like ready for this detective story. So what's up, Shay? Let's get to know your team, please.
Only go slick for CFM, mate. Only for CFM. So yeah. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, my 11. You can see, I was really torn between Livingston and Roy. Obviously, I thought Roy maybe deserved one more opportunity, obviously in a different format. But I thought, you know what? No, I mean, I mentioned previously that Liam Livingston should be given an opportunity and a proper opportunity. Like I want to see him, having all 3 games. I think England have obviously made a point now for the last few years. When one of their established players out of form, they give that person ample opportunity to regain that form. Case in point, Jason Roy. Now, if you're going to obviously do that, the flip side is when you give a new player opportunity, they also deserve the same level of confidence and commitment as well to find their feet in the international arena. Liam Livingston's played for Cape Town Blitz, I believe. So he knows the conditions. And I feel like he's been not messed around, but he's been in and around the squad. He's made reserve on occasion. I feel like, he's played cricket all around the world. He played for Perth Scorchers last year in the BBL. So he has international experience, overseas experience. And I feel like at 27, I think he's 27 years old now. He deserves an opportunity and a proper opportunity. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to discard Roy for now and give Liam Livingston. But I want to see Liam Livingston play all 3 games, not just like 1 or 2 games, maybe a couple of low scores, and then like discarded for the 3rd match. I want to see him play all 3. Obviously, there's enforced changes. Obviously, 3 changes with Wokes, Archer, and Sam Curran gone. Chris Wokes walks back into the team. Mark Wood, obviously, back there as well. I feel like I was quite interested in his presser today. I watched, obviously, on this channel, Holly. So thank you for uploading that. And yeah, I really enjoyed what he was saying there. He seems to be fit and fire and ready to go. Very hungry still to play in England shirt. So yeah, I want to see Mark Wood back there. Ollie Stone obviously did very well in the warm-ups. Did very well in the inter-squad game. We saw obviously how he did Johnny Bairstow. It's not the first time obviously that guy's been bowled, but still, Ollie's done it very well. Bowled tight as well, bowled economically as well, which is good to see because sometimes you see fast bowlers, raw fast bowlers, they can be expensive, but not with Ollie Stone. He bowled with control as well, which is good to see. It's important, obviously, in a white ball game in particular. So, yeah, and I think that will continue to bring the best out of Mark Wood. Mark Wood made the point of the fact that Jofra Archer is his bowling partner, being like another quick bowler in the team. They kind of spur each other on. Well, Wood definitely said that anyway. And I feel like Ollie Stone, they're bowling 90 miles plus. That will keep Wood on his toes because he knows obviously his competition replaces that. Jofra Archer, he walks back into his team. That's a fact. Whenever he's available again. So Mark Wood needs to be kept on his toes, and he knows there's another kind of fast bowler in the ranks of Ollie Stone. that will obviously, I think, encourage Mark Wood to continue to play at a high level. Ali Rashid obviously picks himself as the main white ball spinner, and then Moeen Ali as well. I mean, Moeen Ali, I feel like if he's going to be in the squad, he's going to be a part of the touring party. I think he should get at least, should get a game. I don't think he should play at all. I don't think he should be in the squad at all. But if he's in the squad, I think for the middle overs, they should give him a go. I think it's important that if he's to kind of, I mean, I've just seen so many times Moeen Ali get milked for 5 and 6 and over. I'm just sick of it, to be honest with you. But if he's there, I think obviously it was a little bit of solidity, especially with the ball, not especially with the ball, not so much with the bat. But I think him and Rashid, obviously in tandem in those middle overs, can be reasonably effective. But I do want to see Joe Root bowl. I've been championing this cause for a long time now. I feel like Joe Root has come on a lot in the last 12 months of the ball. I think he's obviously worked in this game quite intensely as well in the nets, because he realised that's going to be another string to his bow if he even needs one. But I think to break into all 3 formats, it's important for him to showcase his skills with the ball, because his batting obviously comes naturally, and he's got a very, very good white ball record, especially in ODI. So I want to see Joe Root slot back in at 3. I believe I picked Sam Billings, didn't I, Khalid? Sam Billings
sorry about that. That's the wrong one. Sorry.
Yeah.
My mouse slipped.
Yeah, I've got Sam Billings there at 5. I mean, I was kind of torn between Billings and Butler at 5 and 6. I'm happy with Billings going at 5. I think Josh Butler is still the more dynamic batsman. If I had to have anyone between the two of them to go and blast 35 off, I don't know, 14 balls to win a game, I'd still back Josh Butler over Sam Billings. So I think Josh Butler can come in at 6. And that's pretty much the side. Yeah, I mean, Johnny Bairstow obviously picks himself, phenomenal ODI batsman. And obviously Owen Morgan there in the middle. So I think Joe Root needs to be able to bowl as well, because Liam Livingstone can also bowl a little bit as well, because you do need that 6 bowler, I believe, in white ball cricket, whether it's T20s or ODIs, because I do agree with Faf in that respect, because you can't expect all the 5 bowlers to be on their A game every game. And I think you just need that where you can just kind of just steal a few overs. For example, post wicket, you can get your kind of part-time bowler on. If maybe one of your frontline bowlers has been expensive, then your 6 bowler can come on. You can get your quick 2-3 overs, maybe go for 12, 13, 14 runs, and all of a sudden you brought back the deficit that you maybe incurred with the frontline bowler being expensive. So I think it's important. Livingston and Root are there from a bowling perspective as well. I think they offer that option. So yeah. That is my team.
Cool. So I'm going to ask 2 questions, one to Aaron and one to Lucy. I'm going to start with Lucy. Lucy, just tell me a little bit about Joe Root. What makes you guys love Joe Root so much? What makes him such an amazing player? Because I'm also one of those guys that is quite a big fan of Joe Root.
So I'm going to get slated for this. I'm not actually that much of a fan, but look at Aaron's face. But yeah, so I never really liked him before he took on captaincy, and I'm still not much of a fan. But I think he's a very good player. Everyone's faces right now. Oh my god! Shall I just shut up? Oh my gosh!
No, it's fine.
But yeah, I think he's a very talented player, and I am warming to him. Yeah, but yeah, awesome. He is exceptional with the bat, and as Shay said, he's becoming a bit more familiar with the ball as well in terms of his bowling.
That's excellent. That's nice for me to have different opinions, guys. Aaron, I want to talk to you about Mark Wood's comments. Like Shay said, he mentioned some of it, but he's particularly said that he wants to play in all formats. Now, people would I think South Africans would look at that and say, yes, of course, but we don't know his injury record. And apparently he was talking about his injury record, and that's the reason. What is your thoughts on Mark being one of your number 1 picks? Do you see him as one of your number pick bowlers? Do you rate him like we rate Andy Nokia, for example?
I definitely rate Mark Wood, but I personally, and again, this is just opinion, I rate him more as a test and ODI bowler, to be honest. In comparison to his T20, his T20 record isn't brilliant. And when we have got a guy like Ollie Stone, I know I'm going to keep on mentioning him throughout the night, but when we have a guy like that who's consistent and, as Shay said, a lot more accurate and a lot more in control of his bowling in T20 cricket, I just think Mark Wood isn't as good of an option. in terms of ODI, he's proved that. He's one of our World Cup winners. In tests, he's proved that. He was absolutely sensational, obviously, on the tour to South Africa last time. So, obviously, I want Mark to have that as his focus, aim for the 3 formats. But if it's just me personally, keep him in test and ODI, he has less chance of re-injuring himself in T20 games. And it allows a guy like Ollie Stone, or let's say Sakeem Mahmood, for example, to come in and take his role in the T20 side.
That's amazing. So as you can see, we've got a new guest on the show as well, Mr. Ravi Reddy. He doesn't have his name tag as usual, but he has a new name tag over there. Just want to explain that one, Ravi, before we get to your team.
Well, let me just adjust my hair a little bit there and get some Brill cream out. Just to be clear, Aaron is the UK version of Ryan Seacrest. We're fully aware Ryan Seacrest is in the States right now. But yeah, I guess it's the insider joke. Now the whole of South Africa knows about it. That's important. But yeah, my opinion is that Aaron is the Ryan Seacrest of cricket commentary.
Mm-hmm. So let's get into your team, Ravi. Let's get straight into it.
Is there a rebuttal from Aaron in that regard? Does he concede?
I think Ryan Seacrest probably wouldn't be very happy to be compared to this, but yeah, I'll take it, Ravi. I'll take it. Anything I can get.
Awesome.
So let's get to your team, Ravs.
Yeah, absolutely. So just to clarify, I'm still uncertain as to whether Dave Miller time. I'm getting heartburn just by saying Miller time. But I'm still uncertain as to whether he's fit and ready to play, as well as Andile, because I know there was a question mark with him up until yesterday afternoon. So I'm still not sure what's the situation going to be with the two of them. But in my mind, I would still certainly like to see them because they bring a wealth of experience, of course. Glenton Steerman, for me, is the big pick of the day. I think he's going to make his debut. I have a feeling about that. I think Mark Boucher alluded to significant changes taking place. I think Glenton Steerman could very well be one of them. And I don't see them dropping George Linder anytime soon. I think he's been the find of the summer, I would say, in a very dismal T20 series. I think he's been one of the standout players. And then obviously Rassi is the guy. He's been one of the mainstays in the middle order. I don't see them going without them. And we'll, of course, see Janneman make a return as an opener. I think we were gravitating towards him. I know we were shuffling them around in the T20 series, but I have a feeling that we're going to go back to Janneman. And of course, I think the big question mark, and I'm sure the fans will be wondering, what has Ravi been smoking? But I'm content giving Temba another go. I think the shots that he played in the T20 series were very uncharacteristic. They were very rushed. I think in the 50-over environment, he might flourish and actually bring out the result. So I think the only way we'll know is if we give him a shot and see how it goes from there.
Yeah, so obviously the main one you've already spoken about, and that is obviously David Miller, and the guy that you love the most. So can you just talk to me about David Miller a little bit? What does he need to do in this particular series, and what would you like to see from him?
Well, a no-brainer about David Miller for me, if you guys got an hour. Okay, so David Miller, I think he's spectacular in the field. There's no question around that. Absolutely, Mudit, I agree with you. I think I'm unemployed right now, so I fully agree with that. Cricket South Africa, hire me now. I'll be objective, I promise, especially with David Miller. But look, so the thing is for me, David Miller has been spectacular in the field, but his stats don't lie. He's been great in the limited overs format. I just wish that he got more of an opportunity to express himself up the order. I think 6 and 7, you're not going to get much from him. It's exactly the same situation. Well, maybe not exactly the same, but we were expecting Pite from Billion to do something spectacular coming in at 6. It's the same situation there. So I think Miller coming in at 5 could very well showcase the David Miller we all want to see. But to be honest with you, the last couple of years I've been enjoying him more as an outfielder. But yeah, that unfortunately I'm happy to be proven wrong. I want David Miller to do well. I want him to do very well. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, Lord.
If I'm going to become a selector in Cricket South Africa, I want him to do very well.
Bloody did hope that we don't get any phone calls after this.
I've been waiting for him.
Okay, so let's bring up. Let's bring up my team. Mine's going to be a little bit more experimental, I guess. I'll explain it obviously when we go through it. But I've decided to try basically all the new guys that I could find. I wanna give them an opportunity because they said fresh team. So because he said for fresh team, I tried to find the best balance. I'm not sure how they're going to. They say it's going to be a different strip, so I don't know if it's going to be spinner friendly or seamer friendly, but I'd really like to see Keshav, and that was the reason why I picked an extra spinner, as well as George Linde in the side. I think I want to see George Linde in the ODI format as well. I think he's a phenomenal player in all formats. But I'm giving Janneman Malan a shot. I think that's one of their first picks that they're going to probably make, and I'm going to move Temba to number 3 because I think in ODIs, I think that suits him best. I really want to see Janneman and Quinton demolish the power play and really take on England's bowlers, especially their speeches. Hopefully they don't open up with a spin or something crazy like that, because then I think Janneman's going to juggle around a bit. But other than that, I think that Janneman and Quinton can really show what they're capable of. I've moved David Miller up to 4. And the reason for that is because I think it's about time that he puts up his hand as one of the best batsmen in the side, rather than just trying to be one of the batsmen just to fill up a space. I feel he needs to put up his hand and say, look here, pick me first. It's my time now, blah, 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 etc. So I want to see him at 4. I want to see him dominate. I want to see him put up his hand and say, look, yeah, I want to be one of the more senior guys and respected guys in the batting lineup. I move Rassie to 5, just to accommodate Miller further up. I think that's interchangeable. I think based on the game and how it's going, the 3, 4, 5 can basically switch around, I think. Obviously, if Quinton and Janneman put on a massive partnership and then we lose their wicket in the 40th over, then maybe you can bring up something like David Miller out to come hit the last few 10 overs or so. So it's interchangeable already. I think those 5 guys. I've gone with Kyle Verreynne. I haven't gone with Heinrich Klaassen because he was sick. That's why he missed the last game. And I'm not sure if he's fully fit for this one. I'm not 100% sure what's going on with him. But also because I just love Kyle Verreynne and I love his mentality, and I want to see him bat as many times as possible in this ODI series. George Linde, I've spoken about. Antilles, a straightforward pick for me. Keshav Maharaj, he's always spoken about how he wants to play all formats for South Africa. I think it's his time now to actually prove that. He's obviously the Dolphins white ball captain. He's spoken about him wanting to be captain as well. He's spoken about captaincy for the Proteas as well, maybe in the future. It's my time now to talk about Glenton and Junior, because I think they haven't had a chance, obviously, in the T20s, and I want to see them get given a chance right now. Given Andre Nokia first game rest after the T20 series. I know he doesn't need the rest, really. We know what Andre Nokia brings. So I'm giving Glenton Steeman and Junior Dalla an opportunity and a run out against England. I think they have what it takes to be able to give the enough variations between the two of them to be able to actually, to be able to give England a good run for their money. So that's my team. And we can see the comments now. If I see 6 comments here, then I see, I'm hoping.
Can I ask a question? Of
course you can.
The 2 left-arm spinners in your side, Khalid, doesn't that bother you in terms of variation?
Well, we don't really have many right-arm spinners in the side, besides, obviously.
Well, Shamsi takes it.
Yeah, I understand. Shamsi takes it the other way.
Because in my thinking, it's either one of the 2. It's either one of Linde or Keshav or Bjorn for 10, but Bjorn's gone home. And I think that's a decision that Bouch and the guys will have to make going forward.
Yeah, and I understand. I fully get that, yes. And I understand why they would say that. But I just think that we know what Shamsi brings. My angle is more about seeing what the new guys can bring. And that's mainly what I think we should be doing for the ODIs. Because with the ODIs, with 2023, we have some time to build that squad. I think we should start building that properly, not like we're doing with the T20s. We should approach this the right way. Give everybody, all the new guys, an opportunity as soon as possible to see what they got. The first match is the best match to give it to them because the pressure's on to actually perform. So you want to see how these guys play under pressure, and that's my main thing that I want to do. Let's get into some of the private chat. Let me get to the private chat first.
Wait. Can I say something? Can I say something quickly? Nice name, by the way, Ravi. I wanted to say, just to add on what Paarl was saying, I think for me, it would have made sense to have Bjorn I think you can play Bjorn with Keshav or Linde, because Bjorn he doesn't spin the ball much, to be honest.
It's more of a holding
He
spot.
just lands it in the right spot, and he plays around with his pace. So you can have him with Linde or you can have him with Keshav. But now if you're gonna have Keshav and Linde both in the same team, that's like bowling. That's like having one bowler bowling 20 overs in a match. But I'm also keen to see how it goes,
Yes.
because it's going to force both of them. It's going to force one of them to sort of try something different. Because if the other spinner is bowling a certain way from the other end, and when it's your turn to bowl, you have to think outside of the box now, because you don't want to be like him. Because batsmen have faced probably 6 overs of him, and now if you're going to come and bowl the same way as him, you're going to get smacked. So it could be a good thing for the bowlers as well to try and get them to think outside of their own boxes or whatever we want to call it.
I think my main thought process with my team was to put them under the most amount of pressure as possible. That's my whole idea, because I don't think that protecting players when they have to prove their worth is a good idea in competitive sport. You need to test them under the most difficult circumstances, and I think that that's the best way you're going to see the best out of them. The ones that crack, leave. The ones that perform, keep. That's how I see it, because there's no messing around when you're preparing for a World Cup. You need to be ruthless. That's what I think. There's no people caring about people's feelings when you're going to think about a World Cup winning team. You can see how Australia does that. England has done that as well. You leave so much talent on the bench. Someone like Joe Root, who everybody sees as a world-class batsman, one of the best batsmen in the world. They're not afraid of saying, look, David Malan's doing well. Sorry, Joe, sit on the bench. And that's just the way I want to see South Africa be a little bit more ruthless with their selection and not just pick people because of the sake of it. I want to put them under the worst possible circumstances that they can face. That's just my opinion with that. Let's get into some of the...
You sound like Vince McMahon. Ruthless.
So let's see some of the
Vince McMahon haircut.
Shay has the haircut of Vince McMahon haircut already. I can't steal Shay's hairdo. But let's go into Verde Erasmus's comments over here. He says, I like Ravi's team, but Klaasen was the man of the season. So I would feel outdone by if he isn't picked.
That was something I struggled with.
Yes, I would have gone with Heinrich if I was 100% certain that he was fit. Yeah. So I would probably
the guy I'm willing to give a rest is Timber and push everybody up, because I think we all know what Timber brings to the side, and I think that either 2 or 3 should be his. So it's the only way to give like color in the spot.
I will probably give Rassi a rest, because every single time we play,
yes,
and we know what he can do. And then because Temba needs form, man. I think Temba needs the confidence. We need a confident Temba going into the World Cup and especially into the other series. So
he's become a much better limited overs batsman, even though his red ball form hasn't been there. The series against England and Australia were very good. So yeah, I think makes sense.
Muller is the best field in the country. This guy says,
yes.
No, I don't think resting is the correct word. I'm using the incorrect word.
No,
it's not
really
resting.
You are dropping them. You are dropping them.
It's a paid vacation.
Not dropping them. It's not dropping them. It's not dropping. Dropping means that you don't believe in their ability. Dropping means, okay, you go. I don't think really that it's dropping. I just think it's giving other people opportunities, because you've seen enough of that person.
Wait.
It's like AB. Are you going to play? Are you going to now? If AB comes back, the only reason you're going to play him is AB. If AB comes back, is because you want to prove to the public that he can play. But that's the only reason. You know how AB brings.
Okay, wait. Okay, let me ask you a question. I don't like talking about AB, so I'm not going to talk about AB. Let's say you rest. Okay, let's say you rest Rassi, and then you bet someone else at 3, and there's 3 ODIs, and then that someone else scores 100, scores a 90, scores a 50. Rassi is sitting, is not playing. Next series, who's gonna bet 3 for you? You know how South Africans are. Whoever it is that's batted at 3. No, but the thing is, the minute you drop that guy who scored runs and replace him with Rassi, people are gonna go crazy, because you know how CSA, they don't communicate with us. They're not going to say, no, we rested this guy. They'll just give us a team and the guy's sitting out. So we're thinking maybe the guy's been dropped. And then next thing, he replaces the guy who averages 1 million in 3 matches, obviously fans are going to complain.
And that's how fans think, yes. And I don't think CSA really thinks about that when they select their team. It's more about who they trust and who fits into their unit and their style that they want to play. So I think that I think fans would understand with Rassie, because Rassie's been consistent. If you're going to take him out of the team when he is doing really well, I think they will be more understanding than when he's doing poorly.
Luba, it's fine. They must take Rassie out. Rassie will come to the Lions. It's fine. Just they must just let him go, and it's fine. But we've got Pakistan. We've got Sri Lanka on the on Boxing Day.
But it's only
so we've got So, well, look, I think, but he also needs, because he hasn't played in a while. They also need game time, and that's the sucky part about this whole thing, is that guys haven't played cricket in 9 months.
Yeah, that's also the problem. So yeah, I mean,
question
my only
for you,
reason for class,
Junior Dala,
31
31 years of age now. Are you taking him to the World Cup? And do you see him going to the World Cup in 2023?
If I'm selected, no.
Okay.
But I think because Boucher's put him in the squad. So first and foremost, I can't be a hypocrite, right? And say that I was angry that Bjorn Fontaine. I'm really angry actually about Bjorn Fontaine.
Oh my word!
That he was put into a bio bubble for so many weeks and then doesn't get an opportunity to play once.
And he doesn't play. But it was George Linder. It was necessitated out of the fact that George Linder played so well.
Maybe also Shamsi, I feel as well.
But then it's a stupid thing. Here's my thing with the selectors. How can you pick 3 left-arm spinners?
But that's also my issue. Like, why are you going to bring them all into the bio bubble, man? Like, you don't bring a guy in the bio bubble and don't play him at all. Like, that's not on for me. And that's why I can't be a hypocrite. So I'm rather going to say the guys who didn't play in the T20s, rather give them a run out for the first game. If they're crap, leave them. Bring out the best.
Circumstances change big time, guys. Let's be honest now. I'm not saying that it is right to drop Bjorn Fontaine. What I'm saying is that we lost 3-0 to England in the T20 series, and we don't want to lose 3-0 in the one day.
So what if we lose 3-0 in the one day internationals? Are we not rebuilding?
Of course we are. How bad is it? How bad would it be
if you know what the worst part about this? No. You know what the worst part about this is? It's the fact that we keep on saying, "Come on, guys."
That is 62-inch sun behind you. Let's have a look.
You know what's the worst part about this? It's the fact that we keep on saying we are rebuilding, but if you look at the most players and if you look at the age of most players in our squad, they're not rebuilding material in terms of age. They're temporary material. I don't know. Maybe perhaps we're building a house. Maybe we're building a house for the next 3 years, and then after that we're gonna build another one. How do you build with so many old players, and then you say
who are the old players that are there right now?
Personally, for me, I would have liked to see
a house. I think building a garage.
Instead of picking 3 slow left armers, you have Imran Manake, quality. I know he hasn't played much least day cricket in franchise cricket, but I would have thrown him in the deep end. Try him out instead of going for 3 bowlers.
Well, look, Luba, he comes from the Titans. Mark Boucher could have picked him. He knows him. He's seen him surely. So
yeah, no, but
he left the Titans.
I don't think he played enough under Boucher for Boucher to see him when he was there, because Boucher left the Titans and then he was Proteas when Manak was starting to get regular game time. You see, but I think that it's very confusing that they haven't picked a right arm spinner into that mix. It's weird.
They could have picked me also. I can bowl some offies.
So
Luba, we want to win at least one game, all right, my bro? We're not going to let you participate, bowl some naked kidney pie.
But
these guys are savage.
Malan was hitting it to the trains, my bro, and the train was moving, and he was hitting his damn train. That's what Malan was doing. He wasn't. He didn't even know there was a game. He was just trying to hit the ball at the train. That's what he was doing.
Yes,
That's
No,
what
but-
you know what my concern was, guys, man, is when I spoke to Victor, man. So when I spoke to Victor and he told me they think in future they're going to be giving the guys from the domestic game an opportunity that perform on the domestic side, I was very excited because I was like, here we go, guys. Here we're going to see Marcus Ackerman. Here we're going to see Vian Libbe. Here we're going to see all these guys come in. And Pike van Biljon was selected, and John Smuts was selected, and so many other older guys were selected. It's so funny that Shay's frozen in a laugh. Like, damn, look at this, guys. Wow, awesome. Boom. Oh, it's gone. Damn. You were like frozen in a laughing face. I was like, this is perfect timing. But anyway, I want to ask the English guys too. You guys have your say. What you obviously entertained by all this arguing that we're going through. What is your thoughts on some of the things that we're saying? Are we completely crazy?
Who's going first? I mean, I might as well go first, seeing as I've just unmuted. And it's been quite entertaining, to be honest, just listening to all of this. Obviously, from an English perspective, I suppose we're a bit more stable at the moment. But yeah, there are some good points. And I think what you said, Khalid, is spot on. Weon Luba, I'm a big fan of his. Saw him for the Durban Heat. He's a fantastic young player. Why not just give him a chance? Give something different. Offer a guy an opportunity in a series against one of the best teams in the world. So, to be honest, yeah, I think that's it for me in terms of comments about South Africa. Obviously, you've got the pressure from losing the last series 3-0. You want to beat us in at least one game on home soil. So, yeah, it should be an interesting series, to say the least, from both Proteas and, of course,
so
an
we've got
perspective.
Lubabalo in the private chat saying that he's a better spinner than That's the last time I'll do it. It's private chat, guys. I'm actually going against protocol. They can actually all sue me over here. Anyways, let's get into this.
No, I would have advised you to say that. I mean, Lucy is gonna text her lawyer, you know, in Westminster, near Westminster. You know, they're gonna prepare some paperwork and they're going to courier it to you via DHL. I'm guessing.
You are served. You got served. And then when they tell me you got served, I'll be doing head spins. Look here, Lucy, change the overs, of course. Go follow her, of course. It's awesome content that she produces. I want to ask you, from the South African lineups that you've seen, who are you most excited to probably see if you had to pick a South African lineup?
First of all, thanks for the plug. But yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing new players. After watching your interview with Quentin Steeman, I'm really looking forward to seeing him play. I think what he said was very, almost like influential, but I've seen him play. And I think, yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing him play this ODI series.
Okay, guys, so it's getting closer to the end of the show. I want to shout out everybody over here, of course. Aaron, Cricket Connoisseur, go follow him on Instagram. Amazing live streams that he does over there. Lubabalo, go follow him, obviously, on Twitter. Awesome content. Mpo, on all these live streams that he does as well. He does commentating, obviously, for various platforms. Go follow him as well. Don't worry about Ravi Shay, Uneven Bounce. You need to go follow his YouTube channel and obviously follow him on social media as well. He doesn't have a Twitter account, he told me, because I tried to tag him in and I couldn't find him. So you can go follow him on his YouTube channel, etc. and everything. You must follow Mr. Ravi Reddy. He does awesome content for us as well. So guys, final say, let's go. Aaron, Lubabalo, Mpo, in the order of the screen. Let's go. Final thoughts before the first. Okay.
Well, okay, I'll just offer some thoughts for tomorrow's game then. So it's going to be an interesting one. Obviously, England, as an England fan, I hope that we do take the series lead, because from there we can build on, hopefully get another 3-0 whitewash. With that being said, of course, in theory, sounds very nice. In practice, I think it's going to be very difficult. I do like the look of this South Africa team. I think they are very much a dark horse in this series. And also, once you have come off the back of a 3-0 whitewash, they're going to have the fire in their bellies. They are going to want to win this match so much. So for that reason, I think I'll actually go against what I should go. And I'm going to say South Africa might win this and take a 1-0 series lead.
That was a shock for me, Mom.
We're all shocked.
I'm still trying to recover.
What? We're terrible. We are terrible. We are terrible at opening series. That's all I'll say.
Did you bump your head there, Aaron?
No. No. Hang on. That is not the series as a whole.
You are
That
aware
is a
David
series
Malan
opener.
plays for you guys, not us, right? You do know that.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
well, he's not in this series.
Well, for me, I'm not gonna say Mike. I'm putting £2 on SA to win the series. I don't have enough money, by the way. So £2 is all I can put. But yeah, I have my money on SA winning the ODI series. So I'm hoping we're gonna see better cricket. I'm hoping to see a more structured Proteas side, a side that has plans, a side that communicates better on the field. I honestly didn't like seeing what happened in the last T20, where it looked like the team was on autopilot. If you're fielding at fine leg, you mind your own business. If you're standing behind the stumps, you mind your own business. If you're the bowler, you mind your own business. Yeah, I'd like to see the Oaks come together. Even if it's just to tell the bowler that he's bowling shit, it's fine. As long as we see them communicating and talking to each other. But yeah, SA is going to win the series. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and switch on the notification button.
Yeah, I just want, like I think the last time I said I just wanted a good game of cricket. I didn't get a good game of cricket in that T20, the last T20. So I'm hoping, like I just want to see South Africa score over 300. I think that's going to be. I've always wondered if this team will be able to do that consistently, because that's where the world of ODI cricket is going. That's going to be the one thing for me. Excited to see the youngsters play in Protea Green and Gold and see what they're going to do and what they will bring. And I just want to see Mark Butcher's aggressive style of cricket. That's all. I've been wanting to see it, and I want to see the plans, and I want to see how they implement it. And I also want Quinton to be given a sixth bowling option. Yes, I haven't given him a sixth bowling option, but maybe somebody in Cape Town will give him a sixth bowling option somewhere. So yeah, look, yes, we're hoping to win, but if we get whitewashed again, it's not the end of the world.
Ravi.
Oh, I was waiting for Lucy to go ahead this whole time. Sorry. Yeah, I share Aaron's sentiments. I think it's going to be a 2-1 win to England, definitely. I think that one win against England, as well as good cricket all round, is going to be a huge confidence booster for a developing South African team. We need to see some fire in the belly, especially when we go back to playing some test cricket as well. I think once we take some confidence in that arena, you're going to see better results. I agree this is entirely a rebuilding phase. But we need to see some fight. We need to see some guys that have made some good starts actually capitalize and score some runs. I think Quinton de Kock, he made some great starts, but he didn't capitalize on it, So I have a feeling we might see a big score from him. And we all know when Quinton scores big, South Africa win generally. So we need to see more of that. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
I think it's a big series actually for South Africa more than England. I think obviously, as Paarl mentions, a rebuilding phase. A lot of question marks for me over several people there. Particularly the debutants, obviously Quinton Stearman's been talked about a lot in the South African ranks, not to mention on this channel many times. Hope to get an opportunity and we'll see if it's a real deal or not, if he can perform at this level. Calvert-Lewin, obviously fantastic start of the year against Australia. I think South Africa need to get some more, they need to sit up and coming middle order batsmen coming into the fold. If you look at Rasvan de Dussen's 31, Klassen 29, Faf is 36, Temba's 30, the Cox 28, obviously the right side of 30. Milanzo is 24, but I think solid middle order batsmen in like Sir Calvert-Lewin. I think it's important for South Africa that they actually develop their game now and are able to kind of like bed in and establish their place in the team. I think in terms of Mirage, obviously, I really rate him. I think he's a fantastic spinner, actually. Did very well for Dolphins last year in the Momentum Cup, and I think obviously led very well as well. He's a very kind of cocky, a bit nice way I'm trying to say that, but he's a very confident cricketer, Christian Mirage, and I think he was bold. I felt I was really impressed by his comments a few months ago when he said, "I want to captain Proteas." It seemed like it was a hot potato being passed around. You know, oh, well, you take it, you take it, you take it. But Kesh Mirage came out kind of from the peripheral a little bit and says, I will take the lead. I want to captain the side in all three formats. And that's exactly what you want to hear from your aspiring cricketers. So I think it was really impressive. And I get the impression watching obviously a lot of Dolphins on my side. He's a very confident character. So I do want to get him to see him get more game time. I'll reference the chat that Paarl mentioned about Jadeja. You know, you're looking for Jadeja. Now, Mirage is not obviously there in terms of his batting, but if he's given opportunity to maybe can develop that side of his game, an average year 2024 in ODI cricket, which can obviously batting at 8, for example, can elevate you, to scores of 250 up to 300 instead. So be interesting to see how he goes. In terms of England, Moeen Ali for me, dead man walking. He needs to be performing now in this series. If he doesn't perform, he'll get 3 games. If he goes and goes poorly again, then to be honest with you, it's the last I want to see of him. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing his performances. Obviously for different types of reasons. Liam Livingstone, I want to see get a go. I do want to see an opportunity, and a proper opportunity, not 1 game and then cast off again. At least 2 games. But I think they'll probably stick with Jason Roy personally. Sam Billings again, want to see him in there because the reality is, England. Why I think England win this series is because look at the guys they're bringing into the side. They're bringing in Chris Wokes, fresh. They're bringing in Joe Root, one of the best batsmen in the world. They're bringing Joe Root into the team. He's fresh to daisy, ready to go, raring to go. They're also bringing in Ollie Stone, 90 mile an hour. Ollie Stone there, fit, ready to go. His looks are very well bound, even without Sam Curran, Archer, and Stokes. Look how good the 11 that me, Lucy, and Aaron have put out tonight. It's obviously a very competitive side. Whereas I feel like when I see the South African 11s, all due respect, there's still a lot of question marks over those players. Whether like David Miller, where is he going in his career? I mentioned before a couple of shows ago, Carly, that I feel like if he's not going to bat top 4, don't play the guy. Don't waste your time playing David Miller. I think he's been hamstrung by the management over the last 10 years. And at 31 years old, he needs to be able to bat 20, 30, even 40 overs to get the best out of him. He's not this. I don't believe he's ever really been a finisher. Just been pigeonholed that way, just because a couple of good seasons in the IPL for Punjab years ago. So I feel like he needs to get a real ample opportunity because for him, again, I'm not saying he's in the kind of death row like Moeen Ali, in my opinion, but he's definitely, he needs to. He's getting to a point where like the likes of Calvin Rayner, if he performs consistently, he takes his spot when the likes of Faf comes back. So I think it's a really important series. David Miller, I've not played much cricket either. We're sitting and just carrying drinks for pretty much 2 months in the IPL. So we'll see how he is. Obviously wasn't fit, or Dean wasn't fit for the T20 series. Pep Quayo as well. I know people are high on this guy, but again, I'm not sure at 50 over level, he's got what it takes to really cut it consistently against the better sides around the world. If you look at his stats. So I'd want to see how he goes as well. I think there's better all-rounders, to be completely honest with you. Vian Lube was mentioned as one of the bowlers. I mean, obviously it's like a different type of bowler, but I feel like, again, he's only 24 years old, but he's been around for a long time. I remember Pep Quayo winning a T20 final for Dolphins, who was 18 years old, playing alongside Kevin Peterson. And he showed his attitude there because Kevin Peterson really went on about Pep Quayo post-tournament, saying how confident he was. And he said, he was like, give me the ball. I'll take the final I'll take the final over to win that tournament. And he was playing with the likes of Kyle Abbott at that point. So but it's okay having the attitude and the confidence. You've got to have the ability to back it up. I just feel it's the same names being trawled out series after series. But look at the numbers, guys. We've got to play it on performance rather than reputation. And I think with South Africa, that's a slight issue they have. David Miller, again, like I said, very much on reputation. It's just, David Miller, yeah, we'll pick him. But there's other players, Markham Marai, Khalid, you've been mentioning him, championing for a long time. He's not there, so and I said Vian Luba could have been there. There's other people. Marcus Ackerman may have been given an opportunity in this series. So a lot of these people here with these reputations, they need to start delivering. You're at home against the best team in the world, officially, in the World Cup champions. Time to deliver. You've been smashed 3-0. I completely agree with Ravi. You need a win. You can't just go and experiment and lose 3. You can't. I don't believe it's good for morale, especially after what CSA have been through in the past 6 months, to go and get smashed 3-0, get whitewashed back to back. Going into a test series against a team you lost to last time, then you got Pakistan, Australia. You've got a big year coming up. So it's important you get some momentum under your belt and get a win. That being said, I don't think you'll win this series. I think England will win. I wouldn't be surprised if 3-0, but I will back a 2-1. I won't be surprised if England win the first 2 matches and maybe slip off a little bit, maybe rejig the team around a little bit and then lose the third match. I just want to comment quickly. Sorry, Hala, I'm not going a while, but I've been listening and just obviously absorbing. You mentioned before about professional sports and how brutal it is. Bjorn Fontaine, unfortunately, has obviously been deemed not good enough to stay in the squad, probably based on his Nets performances. They maybe seen him around the camp for the past 2 weeks, realised maybe he's not the standard compared, obviously, with your left-arm spinners in Linda Mirage, and he probably thought, you know what, it's better for this boy to go back and play 4-day cricket. It's better for him to get some cricket under his belt rather than carry the drinks for another 10 days because you need to win the series, and you probably don't feel like he's the best player or doesn't make the best 11. So rather than just sit around for 2 weeks or 10 days, go back and play for the Lions. Go and get some O's under your belt. And you come again. What, is he 26 years old? 25 years old? He can come again. But this is professional sports. It's brutal. It's harsh. This is the reality of it. So it's the likes of why Joe Root's been left on the sidelines, a world-class player, should really be, for me, in the side. But this is just when you've got competitive groups of players in any sport, unfortunately, there are going to be casualties, and Bjorn Fontaine is one of them. I don't feel sorry for him. It's just the way that one went, and we don't know what's going on behind the scenes and how he's trained. I'm sure if he trained really well and impressed in the Nets, he'd be in the squad. He wouldn't be going home. So, I just wanted to mention that a little bit for why Fontaine. I don't think why he's not there. But yeah, that's just kind of my general thoughts on what's been said for the last half an hour. But I'm going to go for an England win. But I'm very interested to see kind of the subplots of various players in both camps.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into things that I disagreed with over there because there were some things that I disagreed with over there.
No, fair enough.
Yeah, I'm not going to, course, I'm not going to get into that right now because everybody is going to have their chance to it uninterrupted.
For sure.
Yeah. So thanks a lot, Shay. That was awesome. Let's do Lucy to end it off. Best for last.
Yes, I think South Africa going to pick a fresh new side, and I think England will secure the series, but I think South Africa going to play very well. And I agree with Aaron and Ravi with the 2-1 win for England.
And just can you mention maybe some of the guys that you really would like to see and you think that would perform in this particular series?
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to see Joe Root back in the side. I think he's going to come back in fresh and score lots of runs for us. Also looking forward to seeing Ollie Stone, or Ollie Pebble as Khaled calls him. But yeah, looking forward to seeing him as well. Obviously, Clinton Steeman, as I mentioned earlier. Looking forward to seeing him in the South Africa side as well.
Cool.
Did I hear you right, Lucy? You're looking forward to seeing Joe Root on the side? Is that...
Yeah, just as he's just.
Wow.
I thought someone would pick up on that. But yeah,
Cool. So guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. Thank you to all this amazing panelists for everything that they've given me for this particular preview. Thank you a lot for your time. I know it went over the normal limit, but it was awesome from all of you guys to hear what you think. Guys, as Lubabalo said, please like, comment, share, subscribe, click the notification bell for all future videos. Subscribe to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. It's free. Link is on the screen in the description. cricketfanaticsmag.com for all your updates. Obviously, there's an England series tab. And if you have a business and you're looking to get sales online, even if your business is offline, we have a free video available for you. And there's an article coming soon on our social media platform to go check that out too. Thanks a lot to everybody for tuning in. We've got an amazing announcement coming next week, so keep an eye out for that. I'm really excited about this new project that we're going with. So thanks to everybody, and we'll see you guys very, very soon. Enjoy the game tomorrow, guys.